Hi everyone. Has it been hot where you live this summer? It's been very hot in Florida. Maybe you're wondering how we manage the heat in Florida. How do you manage the heat where you live? I'm Vanessa, your teacher with Learn English Florida. Let's learn more about managing the heat in Florida. Let's get started. So, I wanted to give you an example of how hot it's been this summer. We live in Southwest Florida, south of Tampa, south of Orlando. On some days this summer, the temperature has been around 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 35 degrees Celsius. But the feels like temperature has been 108 or 111. And I had to look it up. The 111 degrees is 44 degrees Celsius. Wow. We also call that feels like temperature the heat index. So Florida is very humid, wet, hot air. And that can make the temperature feel like more. There was even a record-setting heat at Tampa International Airport on July 27th this summer. So what do we do in Florida when it's hot out? Well, of course, we stay indoors more. If you like to exercise outside, you would be smart to exercise early in the morning or in the evening when it'll be hot, but not as hot. If you have a dog, try to walk your dog in those same time periods, because the asphalt or the sidewalks can feel even hotter, and that can hurt a dog's paws, their little feet. Also, if a dog has heart trouble, the heat can be very hard on their heart. We drink a lot of water to help manage the heat. We use our pools and our beach areas to cool down. However, there was one day recently we went to the beach. We left by around 12 noon because it had gotten so hot. This time of year, especially with the Gulf side of Florida, the water temperature can be hot too. In August, the average Gulf temperature is, let me double check here, is around 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 30.4 degrees Celsius, and that's inside the water. If you work outside in the Florida heat, it's smart to try and start your work early and then finish early if you can, to avoid the worst of the heat. But also keep in mind that we get a lot of rain this time of year. This is our rainy season. We have a joke in Florida. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. That's because you might look at the sky and you see some clouds coming, and next thing you know, it's raining. We also know, when you live in Florida, about 3 p.m. storms. That's because many afternoons, thunderstorms come through. And that's just part of living in Florida, and then they usually will go away. The other thing to consider this time of year with the heat is that it's hurricane season. So that, of course, can affect our weather. And that can make some days be nice and sunny, and then the next day we're getting a lot of rain because of whatever is going on out in the ocean related to tropical storms or hurricanes. One other thing to consider is that Florida is a big state. So it In the Panhandle, which is North Florida, Northwest Florida, yes, it's hot, of course, but not as hot as down in South Florida, near Florida Keys and Miami. Key West in the Florida Keys is the hottest city in Florida on average. So that's another thing to remember. So if you don't like hot weather, stay inside if you have to visit Florida this time of year. Or just plan your visit for the winter when the temperatures are usually a lot better. Thanks for watching today, and please watch our second video this week where we'll have pictures to help explain everything. Bye-bye.